In 1979, China killed 10,000 Vietnamese during its brutal invasion of Vietnam. In February 1979, the Chinese government launched a sudden and aggressive invasion of northern Vietnam, igniting a short but devastating war. The attack, lasting less than a month, left thousands dead and entire Vietnamese border regions shattered. Although Beijing described the invasion as a punishment for Vietnam's actions in Cambodia, the reality on the ground showed a calculated campaign of brutality aimed at breaking the country's resistance and sending a political message through destruction. China mobilized more than 200,000 troops and crossed the border with overwhelming force. From the very beginning, civilian areas suffered the most. Border towns such as Langsong and Cao Bang were bombarded, occupied, and systematically destroyed. Villages were burned, homes flattened, and infrastructure deliberately targeted. The Chinese military employed a scorched earth strategy, blowing up bridges, mines, clinics, schools, markets, and agricultural facilities to cripple everyday life. Reports from the conflict described widespread devastation. Vietnamese civilians fleeing under artillery fire, livestock slaughtered, and entire communities wiped out in hours. By the end of the fighting, an estimated 10,000 Vietnamese people, civilians and soldiers, had been killed, and tens of thousands were displaced from their homes. Survivors recalled scenes of chaos, burning houses lighting the night sky, artillery shells crashing into villages, and families separated in the panic of evacuation. A quick request: if you found this podcast interesting so far, I'd appreciate it if you'd give it a like. You'd also be doing us a huge favor if you subscribed to this YouTube channel. Thank you. After nearly 4 weeks of fighting, China announced its withdrawal, but not before inflicting maximum damage. As troops pulled back, they destroyed remaining infrastructure to ensure that nothing of strategic or economic value was left behind. Roads were torn apart, military posts blown up, and civilian buildings reduced to ruins. The purpose was clear: cripple Vietnam's northern provinces and demonstrate China's willingness to use extreme force. The war shocked Vietnam, a nation still recovering from decades of conflict. The destruction of border regions added another layer of suffering and instability at a time when the country desperately needed peace. The scars of 1979 remain visible even today in the rebuilt towns and in the memories of those who lived through the invasion. Sources: The 1979 Sino-Vietnamese War and Its Consequences, Hoover Institution. Context on the war, Chinese motives, troop numbers, consequences. Hoover Institution. Yin, Remembering and Forgetting the Last War, LSE. Describes widespread destruction, including roads, food supplies, and mass homelessness among civilians. LSE Research Online. HistoryNet. War of Dragons, The Sino-Vietnamese War, 1979. Report on Civilian Toll, Scorched Earth Tactics, and Chinese Claims. HistoryNet. War History, Reassessing the Sino-Vietnamese Conflict, Estimates on PLA Casualties and the Brutality of the Campaign. warhistory.org. Lee, Sino-Vietnamese Border War and Geopolitical Adjustments, Study of Casualty Numbers and Destruction of Border Regions. VietnamJournal.ru. Mang Ca Hoang, Lessons from the Battle to Protect the Northern Border. Detailed Vietnamese account of destroyed infrastructure, villages, schools, farms. By Wang Nguyen Hoang and Chuyen Yin Nghe An. Wikipedia, Sino-Vietnamese War. Useful for casualty number summaries and contested figures. Wikipedia. Wikipedia, Tong Chuk Massacre. Account of a massacre of Vietnamese civilians by Chinese troops. Wikipedia.